Hey guys, welcome back. Last time we discussed about exception handling. That's a way of handling your errors or exceptions. The another way that we talked about was assertion. So today in this particular topic, we talk about assertions. Okay. Bold. And what do you mean by assertion? So assertion in Python are statements that assert a, a condition to be true. Yeah. So if the condition turns out to be false, Python raises the assertion error. They are used to detect programming errors that should never occur if the code is correct. Okay. So the easiest way of understanding assertion is to way you think of an assertion is to like a raise if error or a raise if statement. So an expression is tested, and if the result comes up false, an exception is raised. We know that. Assertions are carried out by the assert statement, the newest keyword to Python introduced in version 1.5 and onwards. Okay, so the programmers often place assertions at the start of the function to check and valid input, and after a function call to check for valid output. Okay. So you need to remember this. Why it is carried out and what do you mean by assertion and why normally programmers use it. Usually the syntax of assertion, if we have to see, is the syntax of assertion is assert, which is the keyword, and then you have to specify the condition followed by a message. Okay, so this is how it is. It looks like so. The condition is a Boolean expression that should be true, and message, which is an optional message to be displayed if the assertion fails. So this is what happens during an assertion statement. Okay. So using assertions, uh, what happens in Python? So assertions are usually used during development and testing phases to check conditions that should always hold true. So for an example, why to use hold true? Yeah. So let me create a program, print uh, enter marks out of 100. Yeah. And I'm asking to enter. Okay. So suppose the marks equals to 75. Yeah. And I'm running an assert statement checking. So I'm saying assert if marks greater than equals to 0 and marks less than equals to 100. So we are checking whether the marks that we have entered is right or wrong. Yeah. Print marks obtained which is 75. We could have an input statement. I'm just trying to make it a bit easy as of now. Yeah. Next, we are check. This is one of the way of doing it. And another way of checking it is I put the marks as 100, 125, which is more than 100. Yeah. And greater than. So the assert statement should give you true or false. That's what we are expecting. 10 is less than 100. Yeah. So this particular line will not be reached if assertion fails. Yeah. So the last statement will not be run, which is greater than 100 if the assertion fails. So if it is more than 100, the condition is not met, nor the condition has been executed. So let's see what is the output here. So here we can see the first statement had run properly. So here enter marks out of 100. So I have entered 75. For 75, it has run the print statement and it has given you that marks obtained less than 100, that is 75. Whereas while trying to run the next statement, which is greater than 125, which is not fitting within this particular condition, it is showing me false. So ultimately, this will not be reached if assertion fails. Yeah, since this particular statement is not reached as the assertion itself has run an error and it is given me an assertion error. Yeah. So if assertion fails, this assertion error will occur always. And you can see that it has been pointing it out. What we can do is we can also give custom error messages. So what we have done is we can also give custom errors. So I can say uh, so you can have a custom error as we have done earlier. To display a custom error message when an assertion will include a string at the end of the statement, which we have done earlier. Here, in this particular statement, we have seen I have added a message at the end of the statement. So what I can do is, over here, if the message fails, I can add a custom message by saying, comma, number or the marks should be in the range of 0 to 100. So let me run this. You can see this. The assertion error, previous assertion didn't had any message, but this assertion had an error message saying that marks should be in the range of 1 to 100. So it gives me an output, my output mentioning what I need to do or what are the things that needs to be. So how we can handle assertion errors. So handling assertion errors, we can do that by yeah. Assertion can be caught as we have seen and handled like any exception. So using try except block, if they are not handled, they terminate the program and produce a traceback. So how do we handle that? So how do we handle that? So we can have the I can have a try except block saying that try uh, marks 125. I'll ask equal to int input enter marks greater than 0. Suppose I want to avoid people giving marks less than 0, like -1 or -2. So I'll say assert marks greater than 0. Yeah. And I'll give it a message saying that uh, marks cannot be negative. Okay. And I'll greater than equals to 0. Marks cannot be negative, and if it is there, then it will print the marks. Yeah. And if it is an exception, it will get into an assertion error and it will print the message. Yeah. This assertion, which is we have the message as message, which is this marks cannot be negative, which was the message. Yeah. Else I'll print the marks obtained. So let me run this. I do not need an else statement because I have already, if it is not an error, it will automatically print a marks obtained. So let me run this. So here I am inputting the marks as 95. Yeah, and I'm entering it. So it is giving me marks obtained. Yes. Let me run the same code by entering any negative marks. So I'm writing -10. Yeah, and I'm trying to enter. Here, marks cannot be negative. Yeah. So it has run this assertion. It has taken this message which has come up from the assertion error and it is printing out this message. Yeah. Pretty simple. The one point that you need to understand between assertion and exceptions is let me write it as a text. Assertion and exception is assertions are used to check internal state and invariance that should be always true. Whereas exception helps in handling runtime errors and exceptional conditions or errors that may occur during normal execution. So assertions are disabled by default in Python, optimized mode. So therefore, they should not be used to enforce constraints that are required for the correct functioning of the program in production environment. So usually assertions is what we avoid. We usually use exceptions or error handling so that we can handle the errors and give out rather output in the form of else or exceptions, printing out some messages. Yeah. Assertions are hardly used in any programming language. If you can use it, then this is the way I have shown you that could be used in your program. Yeah. Hope you have understood the concept of assertions in error handling. Hope you like this explanation and the examples that I have shown you. Uh, do like the video, share it across with your colleagues who want to learn Python. Also, do comment if you have any queries or if you have any inputs about this particular topic, which could be helpful to other colleagues who are learning Python. Uh, And yes, do not forget to subscribe to my channel because that's how you will get my latest videos directly to your inbox. Thank you so much.